Hello everyone, welcome to Generation Makeup. Today we are doing a pretty different video. I recently have dipped my toes into hair removal using sugar, which is also called sugaring or sugar wax. So if you would like to see how I make this, please keep on watching. I say like recently as in like last night, and I woke up this morning and I tried out the recipe to make sugar wax, and I got something like this. This is my first batch. It's way too hard. I overcooked it. It's very easy to overcook this because it's literally just takes seconds to overcook it. You have to watch it. The second your sugar starts to golden, you need to remove it from the heat. And I left it on for a few more seconds than I should have. So if I believe this hardness is called the hardball stage of sugar, because essentially what we're doing is making candy. That's essentially the process of making sugar wax. So I'll show you. You just put everything in a pot and put it on the stove to medium to high heat. Now I'm starting another batch of the sugar wax because I want it to kind of turn out as good as it can. I don't want it to burn like my other batch did. And surprisingly, the sugar wax actually goes a really long way. This batch that I made over here, like I said before, it's way too hard. And I want it to be more pliable and easily removable and just more easy to manage. So I am remaking the sugar, like I said, which is over here, and I'm going to watch it very closely. You want to keep stirring as you're making your sugar wax because you don't want it to burn. I believe I burned my last batch, which is why it was so dark. You want it to be kind of a caramel color, but not a deep caramel color. It's kind of just like you have to watch it. Like the more you do it, the more you understand the sugar and the more you understand its temperament, because it is pretty it's pretty tricky. Although I was able to kind of use that last batch of wax to remove hair, it wasn't, my ideal situation. I feel like my paste should have been much more pliable and much easier to work with. It was kind of hard to work with because it was so stiff. So remaking this batch is kind of my way of redoing it. Thankfully, sugar is biodegradable, and it can just dissolve in water. So putting the sugar that I made in the trash wouldn't be that bad of wouldn't be bad to do. I think I might just eat it though. I haven't used it on my skin or anything, so I might just eat it. It just tastes like sugar and lemon juice, but that batch tastes burnt. So, but I don't want it to go to waste, so I might just eat it. So you have to stir this constantly to make sure that it doesn't burn. Yeah, the steam rising is pretty hot and it is kind of burning my hand, but it's not painful, it's just uncomfortable. I'm watching this very, very closely. It's darkening up very well. So I think pretty soon I might take it off the burner. My recipe was half a cup of sugar to 1/4 cup of water and lemon juice, equal parts water and lemon juice. So that's what I put into this pot, and you want to put it on medium to high heat. My burner goes all the way from 1 to 9, and I just put it on the 7. I put it on 7, so that's medium to high heat from my burner. Obviously, you're working with molten sugar. You want to be extremely careful because it is so easy to burn yourself with this. You want to make sure that you are not touching the sugar or the pot. You're going to touch the handle of the pot. Oh, I think it's close. You just want to be extremely careful when dealing with this because it's very, very easy to burn yourself. I think it's almost ready. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna remove it from the burner so it'll cool, turn the burner off, obviously, and continue to stir it a little bit because it's still cooking technically. So I'm going to stir it until it stops bubbling, and then I'm just gonna leave it alone. And I'm going to prepare my bowl, which is just, you know, a glass bowl, and I'm gonna rub it down with a little bit of oil so that the sugar won't stick to it as easily. You want to rub your bowl down with oil so that the sugar can come out of it a little easier. And looking at my wax, I think I did it right this time, because it actually looks like the video I watched, that's the color that it kind of looked like. So I'm going to transfer it into this bowl over here, and I'm gonna let it set until it becomes cool enough to start to knead. Alright, you guys, I think it's time to test out this sugar wax. Like I said before, this is the first batch that I made, and it's way too hard and it's not pliable, so I can't like spread it on my skin and rip it off. But this batch, however, looks much better. So I'm going to take my greased spoon. You want to make sure that it's greased so that the sugar doesn't stick to it, and kind of pull it away from the edges. You want to make sure that the sugar isn't too hot, like you can still touch it, and if it's too hot, then you can't pull it. You can do this in small batches, but I'm going to take this sugar and I'm going to start to knead it. Whew. Bad idea, bad idea, bad idea. So that didn't work. So I'm going to wait a little bit for it to cool, because it burned the heck out of my fingers. Well, it didn't burn the heck out of my fingers, it just burned, and my fingers didn't like that. So let me show you. This is what happens when your sugar is too hot to handle. You drop it because your fingers are burning, and you get it stuck to your desk or your kitchen sink. But a good thing about sugar is that it sticks to itself. So once this cools, this should be pretty good to remove. Like already the cool parts have started to come up. So this isn't too big of a deal, but you know, it's something you can avoid if you're not an idiot like me. Okay, we're back. I'm done being an idiot. I cleaned up my area when because sugar is water soluble, I was just able to kind of scrub it off with water. It took a while, but like, it's really no big deal. Doing this cleanup is really easy because sugar is water soluble and biodegradable, so cleanup is no problem. So now that I've made sure that my sugar is cool enough to handle, I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on my hands. I'm using coconut oil, and I'm going to take my sugar mixture. Because it is cool enough for sure, I can take the entire thing in my hand and I can start to knead it. So this is like probably an ideal temperature. What you do is you kind of pull it apart and put it together and pull it apart. This is the kneading process. Now what this does is it aerates the sugar so that it becomes easier to work with and it's more pliable. You'll know when you're done when your sugar starts to become opaque. Essentially what you're doing is making candy. So as I was cleaning the sugar off the counter, I ate a little bit of it, and it actually tastes really good. So although you're not supposed to eat this, I did, and you know, it's not bad. So as you can see, there's a big difference between this and this. This is way too dark and it's not pliable at all. Whereas this, I believe is the perfect temperature for pulling. So kneading it makes it easier to handle when you do want to go ahead and use it. I don't know if I can use this if it dropped down to room temperature. Right now it's pretty warm. But I believe you would still be able to use it if it was room temperature. So now that my sugar is pulled and it's ready to go, I think I'm going to go ahead and start waxing. I have a hairy upper lip, which you may or may not be able to see, and I need that to be not there anymore. So I'm going to wax just this part and we'll see if that makes any difference. So what you're supposed to do before you start waxing is making sure your skin is clean and making sure that it's dry. I'm gonna spray a cotton round with some alcohol and wipe down that area. Okay, it's clean now. So to make sure that it's dry, I'm going to apply a little bit of talcum powder so that the sugar sticks. The videos that I watched said that this won't work if your skin is wet. The sugar will just, it'll come right off. I'm sorry if the lighting keeps changing. It's raining, so it's kind of dark outside. And the window that is over here, that's where I get a lot of my light from. So, forgive that. Anyways, I think it's good. I think we're good. So what I'm gonna do is kind of find the way the hair grows. The hair grows in this direction. So I'm going to apply the sugar in the opposite direction, in the upper direction, and then pull it off in the same direction that the hair grows. So I'm going to apply it. Uh-oh. See, that's what happens when it's not dry enough. It comes off. So more powder. So I'm going to apply it in the upward direction and then remove it. Hey, that kind of worked. Obviously, with practice, you get better at this. So apply it against and then remove it with. I'm no stranger to pulling hair out of my face, so this isn't too painful to me. But if you're someone who's really sensitive to getting your hair removed, this might not be the best method of hair removal for you. It feels like it would feel if you would get your hair removed from any, waxing salon. It feels like hair is being ripped out of your face, which it is. Okay, I think I see a bit of a difference. Okay, I think this is my fault that it's not working as good as I, would have hoped it to. But I think with practice, it should get better. There's still a lot of hair in this area, but it definitely looks less full compared to this area. Can you not? So I'm just gonna keep going and pray that it works. Hey y'all, I'm back. I just finished waxing this side of my face, well, just my upper lip, and you can see it's pretty red and irritated, but like that's normal when you wax your face. And it's so smooth. It's so smooth. It took me a couple minutes, like 5 to 7 minutes, to just do this side, but tweezing takes me a lot longer. So I thoroughly think that this is probably going to be like my new hair removal routine. As you can see, this side of my upper lip is a lot darker than this side. Well, I hope you can see. And this side just feels so smooth, and I love it. So you can use sugar wax anywhere on your body. You know, your armpits, your armpits. You can do your you know, eyebrows. You can do your Brazilian with it, your legs, your arms. So I think that's kind of gonna be my new hair removal routine. You know, shaving, I just quit shaving a long time ago because my hair grows so fast that it really didn't make sense for me to be doing it all the time. So I would just, you know, pluck, and that takes a really long time. So I'm so glad I found this sugar wax hair removal technique, because I'm gonna be using it like probably non-stop. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is kind of, you know, the more unconventional video, but I wanted to share it because I'm really glad that I got to learn how to make the sugar wax and use the sugar wax. So, you know, if this is something you haven't heard of before and this is something you want to try, go ahead and try it out. Like, it's literally so inexpensive, and you probably already have, you know, sugar, water, and lemon in your house already. So go ahead and try it out if this is something you want to try out, but, you know, be careful because, you know, you're dealing with hot candy. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you would like to. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. We have a great community over here. Again, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and honeypots, stay well and stay beautiful. Bye.